Hello, friends. So I was asked in a comment how I do my word studies, or I guess I've kind of very infrequently been asked like how I do my studies and how I find what I find, because I am blessed to be able to find things to link together and make sense of stuff fairly easily now, just because I've been at it for so long and I just recognize things now. But this is one of the things I figured I would show you because I'm about to write about it, going through my study of the revelation of Jesus Christ, Revelation 11. And this has to do with verse 7. The two witnesses, when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit. So this is actually a very, very specific word. And hopefully we know the Greek language, which the New Testament was written in, is very specific. And if we don't, it's very helpful to know that. This is one of those things where people take what is specific out of context and make general. That at some point in the future, he's going to ascend out of the bottomless pit. And yet in that verse, it is a very specific reference point to when he ascends out of the bottomless pit. He's doing it at that precise point. The beast is not hanging around for a period of time before he just decides to kill the two witnesses. He ascends out of the bottomless pit. Amidst trumpet 6, which is all about appointed times and all about the loosing of bound angels. So I'm going to discuss all of this. He is one of the original angels that sinned in the days of Noah and has been confined in chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. He is part of the judgment of the great day. And in Revelation 9, we began to discuss this in trumpet 6, where that is the angels bound in the great river Euphrates will be loosed for an hour and a day in the month and the year for to slay the third part of men. The loosing of angels, the loosing of bound angels, spoken about in Jude, and also in the books of 1st and 2nd Peter, because Jesus went and preached, descended into the heart of the earth during those 3 days he was in the grave, descended into the lower parts of the earth to proclaim victory over those wicked spirits who were once disobedient in the days of Noah and have been confined under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Here in Revelation, specifically in trumpet 6, we see the loosing of the bound angels for the judgment of the great day. And this beast, named Apollyon, the destroyer, the angel of the bottomless pit in Revelation 9:11, is one of them. And we are given a very specific reference point that he's going to ascend at his appointed time being in Revelation 11:7. Now, how do we get there? How is it that we know that he's ascending at that time and not that he's going to ascend some period of time from now and just hang around, be around, and then I guess just one day decide to kill the two witnesses? Like, why did he let them live for 1,256 and a half days? Why did he just decide then to do it? Because he couldn't until he ascends out of the bottomless pit. And the first thing he does is overcome them and kill them. So let's do a word study on this word ascendeth. How do we get there? Okay, I just transferred over to Bible Hub and I've got Revelation 11:7 here. And in the bottom half is the KJV lexicon. And it says, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit. Ascendeth is the Greek word anabino or anabinon. It is a present active participle. When we talk about the Greek, we can talk about aorist, which kind of has no tense, but is referred to as like past tense when you're talking in the future, but it's kind of like a past tense. Like John's prophesying about someone and they ascended, but he's talking future tense. It's kind of aorist. It's understood to be past from a reference point, but you can still prophesy something in a past tense for the future. I'll go through that. And you've got present, future, past. You've got a whole different bunch of things. Singular, plural, masculine, feminine, neuter. I mean, you can look at all of these that I have on my screen. You have different tenses, accusative, genitive, nominative. I mean, if you just look at the things that are in blue, these are, and I'm just struggling for examples here, but you can see them right in front of you. Articles, nouns, verbs, personal pronouns, conjunctions. Like the Greek language, if we study it out, is very, very specific as to what it means. Now, the beast that ascendeth, read, is ascending out of the bottomless pit. It is written, let's go back to where I was at, right here. It's a verb, meaning it's an action, present active participle. Present active participle means that he is doing it at that time. So let's give a more well-rounded explanation of this by going to study out the Greek language. We're going to study out present active participle verb. Here is a lesson in present participles in the Greek, and they have this example. The present participle would be while walking. So what we're supposed to do is move it from ascendeth to ascending. The beast that ascendeth, the beast that is ascending. Present tense. Slap an ing on the end of it, and that is something that he's in the process of doing. Now, what we'll note from this is that the past tense here, he saw. So while he presently is doing this thing, he saw something. And now when the person is telling you that that happened, it's now past tense. But while he is walking, present active, he is presently doing something. So the beast that ascendeth is a present active participle. Read, he is ascending. And while after he ascends out of the bottomless pit, he overcomes and kills the two witnesses. So in this in this sentence, you have, and I'm not a Greek scholar here, but I'm helping you guys understand that this isn't out of the realm of knowing. You just have to look it up. So a present active participle, now while walking, the beast that is ascending out of the bottomless pit, meaning he's doing it at that time. And then there's also a past tense reference there. But basically what you are looking at doing when you are talking about active or present participles rather, is put an ing on the end of it. And that tells you he's in the process of doing something. I'm going to draw your attention to Revelation 14 and show you the very same thing in a different context, but it means it's occurring. Slap an ing on the end of it and it's in the process of happening, with the word ascendeth also. And this has to do with those who worship the beast's image or receive his mark. The third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Ascendeth up forever and ever means it is an ongoing thing. At an ing, the smoke of their torment is ascending up forever and ever. It is a perpetual present tense. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast or his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So that's what we're talking about with present participles, is that instead of an ETH on the end of it in ye old King James Old English, put an ing on the end of it. Tack an is at the beginning and an ing at the end of it. Is doing this thing, this verb, this activity. So now let's go back to Revelation 11:7. And when they shall have finished their testimony, that is, speaks of an appointed time, the beast that is ascending out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them. And it's not that he has been ascending and it's like a process. It means that at that appointed time, he is going to ascend. The way that it's written tells you that at the precise appointed time that he is intended to commit this action against them, which is to overcome them and kill them, that is when he shall come out of the bottomless pit. Those things are linked together. They are simultaneous events. He will not have been around. He is going to, at the appointed time, he is allowed to be loosed from his chains under darkness, reserved unto judgment of the great day. That is when he shall ascend. So it is written in a present tense verb action scenario that when they are done, then he shall commit this action, present tense to that scenario. So this is how I do my Bible study, because there are too many people who like to generalize what is meant to be specific. And this word ascendeth is very specific. It is intended to be understood that he is going to ascend at that appointed time, which is when the two witnesses shall have finished their testimony, and not a second beforehand. So no, he's not going to be hanging around. He's not going to be here while we are here. He's going to be removed from us by at least 1,256 and a half days. And that is why in Revelation 13 it states he is given power to continue 40 and 2 months. So his entire time from beginning to end is 1,260 days, 42 months of time times it in half, plus 3.5 days.